All right, one thing people need to understand is I'm going to cue something, but it doesn't necessarily mean what I'm saying. It's just going to work. All right, so I'm going to cue him to arch his lower back. All right, more, but that's not exactly what I want him to do. You know, I've learned over the years that when you start writing and putting verbal cues in videos, people misinterpret what they are. I'm using whatever's going to work. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to find something else. Chest up didn't work for what I'm trying to see happen. I want the bar to come in a straight line. So I'm going to have him stop again. I'm going to push on his lower back to make it look like I'm putting him in this huge arch. Where what I'm really trying to do is get... Okay, so what exactly are you looking for?
Yes, I give a shit about benching, squatting, and deadlifting. I want to get stronger at those over time, and I want to continue to build those lifts while staying lean, staying healthy, and being able to be a role model for my clients and my athletes. Nobody knows better than you how to build these big lifts.
So the setup in general, a little bit different. The biggest difference is that we squat in front of the mirror. With the elite rack that we have 2 mirrors in front of both racks. So always the vision's at the feet for me. So right now the vision's kind of like so much shit to look at right here.
Where do you normally squat? You squat with your head forward, down, up, where?
Slight extension. So I have slight extension. My vision is at my feet when I squat into the mirror. The mirror is maybe 7 to 8 feet in front of me.
Try to focus on the middle of the bamboo bar.
Okay.
That's a little too high. Focus on that guy.
Okay.
Based upon what you're telling me, I'm not changing anything, but I want to make sure you're squatting the way you normally squat, so I'm not seeing stuff in your upper back that typically wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So we got to fix and make this like there's a mirror, but not a mirror.
Gotcha. So usually when I'll focus in on feet, step, 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 brace, and then go. But I always have difficulty with that when the gym's without anything, because I can't watch my feet. And the last fucking thing I want to do is
yes,
do
you
like
don't
this.
want to look down. No, you're fine. Your feet are okay too.
I should note too, probably about 65% of our work is off a box.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get you on a box. I just want to see how things move without it first.
Yep.
And I want to get this neck position right.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, what we just did here was he's normally used to squatting with a mirror in front of him and focusing on his feet, so looking down, and that's how he's been able to set his head position. So if I agree or disagree with his head position is kind of irrelevant, because I need to know what he squats every single day. So we've moved a collar that for him to look at from probably 4 foot off the ground to 2 foot off the ground to now on the floor, and I'm seeing a neutral head position, which is what he told me he normally squats with. And if you're actually watching the video, if it's in there, you're going to see that his steps changed tremendously on his walkout just with that one thing. So now I can start looking to see if there's anything to fix, because you don't want to fix something that is not even real to begin with. Okay, what size box?
Yep.
How's this? We got 3 angles here.
This one.
All right, see if that works.
It's a little low.
All right, 2 of the mats on top of it. And then see how that is. Okay, before taking the bar out, just act like you're gonna walk it out so you know the box is not.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll fix a couple things here first. A couple things that he's doing that he's probably not aware of, and I think it's because you do so much single leg shit. You're taking the bar out with one leg.
Yep.
Okay, so when you set up, before you come out, make sure both feet are square.
Yep.
And then kind of leg press it out. That will also help with your steps. So we're gonna work on that first. I don't care how you go about thinking about rooting your feet, if it's turning, twisting, grabbing, whatever it is, but you gotta root a little bit better, especially when you're box squatting, because as soon as your weight goes on the box, your toes are coming off of the floor.
Okay.
So you gotta grab even harder when you're on the box. Sometimes what helps is when you're sitting on the box, before you come back up, act like you're doing a leg press, a leg curl. Like you're driving your feet back to bring the hips forward.
Okay. So that was actually a big debate that we've had with a lot of my lifters in Wisconsin, especially with my geared lifters. It was a difference between going here and unracking here. It was.
Either way, you're going to be stronger with both feet symmetrical.
For sure.
You know, and it's also going to set up boom, boom. Especially if they're any kind of competitive lifter, you want 1, 2. That's it. Sometimes you can get by just one.
Right.
Good. Okay. There's actually a lot that I'm seeing right. There's more that I'm seeing right than I'm seeing fucked up, which is good. I am seeing a little bit of the upper back thing, so we're going to tweak that a little bit. Your knee position to your toes, your stance is fine. You don't need to move your stance out, in. I mean, we can move your stance out to try to shorten the bar path, but it's not going to be that significant with the way that your leverages are. You know, so it's not worth going way out and putting your groin at risk when you have the mechanics are working right where you're at.
Yeah.
Where, you know, wider's not always better. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I never make those calls until I see somebody squat. If I'm seeing, you know, hip hinge, you know, the lower back, hips, everything, boom, is going all at the same time, all you can do is fuck that up by going out here. Then it becomes a good morning. So there's the upper back is definitely an issue that we're going to work with a little bit. And now I'm going to start looking at the bar path on the way up. Because when I look at a squat, I look at the feet, knees, hips, before I look at anything else. Once that passes my checklist, and if there is a difference, if it is somebody that's going to wear gear, then I do want the knee over the ankle. Right? If it's somebody that's going to wear wraps, then like midfoot, somebody's sleeves, I'll let it go to toe. And that's really just to get more out of the gear. Because if your knees go forward and you're wearing gear, you're never going to get all the tension in the back of the gear. Or if your knees go forward too much, you're not going to get shit out of your knee wraps. So now if the knee is starting to go over the toe, that's where I don't like. You know, just I understand reasons why people would think it's a good thing, but if it's a powerlifting thing, it's just wasted energy.
Just from the way I'm built, I have a crazy amount of dorsiflexion. I could dorsiflex all day long. So it's more of a challenge for me to keep the activation back here. Because my natural default from sprinting, jumping, all that stuff is to go here. That's the reason why I'm far better on the trap bar than I am on the barbell. But I've been playing with the stance. I have a very specific stance. Everyone has different hips. My specific hips, I probably have to be within here to here, or it's just totally fucked in terms of my back and my pelvic positions.
Wherever that is right.
That looks good?
Yes. Mechanically, from what I'm seeing. Now, anything that's going to happen here with the bar, say it comes forward, that has nothing to do with your feet. You know, that's going to have to do with your back and the position that that's in.
You nailed it though with the adductors. As soon as I go out even a half of an inch at my stance, it totally changes the game. I'm devastatingly sore at the adductors.
Yeah.
And the only time I use that is if we are gonna go through a trap bar deadlift cycle, knowing very much so that we have more anterior chain dominancy there. I will move out the squat, just the tiniest of bits, because I can get way more here and here.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I alter it.
I mean, if you were
with
dead set on squatting wider and I knew you were going to gain 60 pounds, then I would start you with like very high sumo block pulls just to start building that area to support it, but that's not the case.
Okay.
So
2 or 1?
2.
See that old habit? I went right in for it.
Okay. All right, racket. What are you doing breathing wise after you get it out? How are you getting your breath?
I'm holding it.
Okay, so it's held there before you bring it out, or it's re-brought in?
I try to take a breath. Attention here.
Yes.
First line. I walk back 1, 2. I try to root, and then brace down a tiny bit more. I take one more tiny bit of air before I squat.
It might help to try to go through your nose while you're under the bar.
Okay.
Push the diaphragm down a little bit. Feel, everything.
When the bar's on the rack?
Right before you take it out.
Okay.
You don't want to do it for too, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to hold your breath too long.
Yeah.
So it'd be, so that pulls in, then step, and then try to pull that little bit more through your mouth. Because if you try to breathe through your mouth into your belly, just do it now. Breathe through your mouth into your belly. Okay. Now do it again and hold it. Now try to breathe through your nose. You can't.
It's
now
hard.
go through your nose first into your belly, then try to breathe through your mouth.
Yeah.
You get, even if it's just a couple cubic centimeters more, that's a little bit more brace that's gonna make a world of difference.
And notoriously, brace is my weakest link at the core, every single lift.
Yeah.
That's the reason I can skyrocket the single leg work, and when it comes to bilateral, my numbers aren't good.
Yes. Now walking it out, it can be different. Like you can try but not be able to hold it, and then it's gonna have to change to where maybe you do it different and then you reset it all after you're set up.
Okay.
So before you take it out, breathe in through your nose, into your belly, step, pull that little bit more through your mouth, go. There you go, again. Good, okay. Wow, that made a huge difference. Holy fuck. Yeah, that made a big difference.
That was maybe the best feeling rep I've ever done.
Yes. It
felt like I had the right.
Yes.
My
the
torso
walkout
lean
may
was.
fuck it up a little bit. Like I said, it may have to be breathe through your mouth normal, step, stop. Breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth, go. Because it is a long time. Now you know why I like using the monolift. I can get underneath there, breathe through my nose, get that last breath, stand up, and then I'm ready to go, and everything's solid as a rock.
I felt the tension here on that one. I didn't feel it here or here. Notoriously, when I'm on video, I see myself on video all the time, the strain comes from here and from here.
Yeah.
So I get bruised here on the belt, and I can see me having a fucking jugular accident up here at my neck. But
it should
usually
feel,
here,
it should feel all the way around. You should start to feel it here
totally
more.
Different. Totally different.
All right, this time I'm gonna have you pause on the box for a second. So get your air. I mean, you'll lose a little bit of it when you sit on the box, but nose first. Step, mouth, down, stop. Now from here, I went this tight, just a little bit of an arch, not much, just bring your chest up. Now come up like you're on a Smith machine. Bang, right there, okay.
Yeah. Falling backwards.
Yes, that's what you want.
The Smith machine.
That's what you want.
Back, man.
What I'm trying to get you to do is when you're on the box, to take the bar and pretty much act like you're gonna throw it against the back wall.
Okay.
That way when you come up, the last thing to move when you squat is your chest, right?
Yep.
It should be the first thing to come up on the way back up.
Okay.
So when you sit down, stop, ultimately you wanna be in the position I put you in, which means you need a little bit more pelvic tilt, but I'm
Which
very,
way?
Which back. But I'm so fucking hesitant to say that because people go extreme and then they end up doing this stupid shit where they're gonna break their back in half. where you got a good neutral position, which puts you down here. So the bar's here, your center of gravity's here.
Yep.
So without, really it's not even this. If we can get your chest here, then that bar,
Okay.
straight line.
I got it. 2 again, pausing on the box.
Yeah, pause again on the box. It's really your chest, just keeping your chest up. So the sternum thing.
You cue me for my chest up.
I'm gonna call chest up, yes. So nose, mouth. Chest up. Good. Down, pause. Chest first. Slipped a little bit, okay.
First rep was better.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cue the lower back. I hate to do it, but. All right, one thing people need to understand is I'm gonna cue something, but it doesn't necessarily mean what I'm saying. It's just gonna work. All right, so I'm gonna cue him to arch his lower back. All right, more, but that's not exactly what I want him to do. You know, I've learned over the years that when you start writing and putting verbal cues in videos, people misinterpret what they are. I'm using whatever's gonna work. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna find something else. Chest up didn't work for what I'm trying to see happen. I want the bar to come in a straight line. So I'm gonna have him stop again. I'm gonna push on his lower back to make it look like I'm putting him in this huge arch. Where what I'm really trying to do is get the sternum up.
Is my bar path going this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it's dipping, then going up. So
Okay.
it dips, then up, dips, then up. But the problem is when you go heavy, that dip is where you miss out of the hole. All right, especially if you're explosive, you're really fucked because this is where your power is out of the bottom.
Yep.
So you don't want to miss until you get past that.
Okay. Arch lower back.
Yeah. So breathe through, nose, mouth, set. Then from here, try to pull your sternum up now. There, lock it in, squeeze the bar, straight. There, good. Sternum. Forgot the double. That worked.
Sitting on my heels though. I think if I just grip one more time with my toes, that cue is gonna be the one.
Okay.
That's just a shit execution.
Okay.
I was here instead of getting down in.
The sternum is going to be the key. It's just boom, boom here, and then that automatically puts, so it doesn't have to go. That way when you sit down there, the bar's.
Yep, okay.
Just maybe with your feet, just think about grabbing the mat with your toes. Nose, mouth, toe grab, chest up, there, good.
Still that left foot.
What's that?
I'm so used to depending on going forward that as I sit back, I lose my root.
Put a quarter on.
You know what, I feel like you 6 months ago when we were doing this and you did 50 box squats with body weight and you fell back on every single one.
Yes.
And then you hit one good rep and you're like, fuck it, let's go to the bar.
Yes, when it clicks, it clicks.
1 out of 50 reps that you kept the toes down and then boom, it hit.
Or it took 50 reps to get the one right. Because everything else is so fucking tight. Nose, mouth, toes, sternum, chest. Good. More chest. There, better. Did you bring a belt?
Yeah.
Let's get your belt.
This might have nothing to do with anything, but I fucking yell before every set, especially work sets of the big lifts.
As long as you can keep your air and still do it, you're fine. You can yell whatever you want.
All right. But I find myself yelling in my own gym. So if it's me and my coaches, I'll fucking yell. As soon as I'm like in public, really quiet.
I yell out here by myself all the time. I yell at all the faces on the wall. I talk to them. They're my pretend friends. Okay. Nose, mouth, toes, smash that belt, stop. Okay, just turn them up a little high. Right there's where you want to be, straight line. Do one more. That's good. Okay.
That's not a common problem for me falling back on a squat ever. So that's brand new.
That's a good. That's not bad.
Yeah.
We add more weight, it won't happen. I put 315 on, you will not fall back, guaranteed. It's like a deadlift. You know, a teeter-totter on a deadlift, you want your body weight going backwards. On a squat, you want your body weight falling backwards. That's actually why I put the quarter on.
Okay.
Was to try to
weigh me down a little bit.
mitigate that. But I do want to see with this if we can get your grab with your toes. You know, grab down. Fuck this. Just try to grab with your toes, because when you're cueing feet, everybody's going to hear things differently, and we can say all 3 points of contact and all this other stuff that's officially right. Yeah. The only thing that's the problem right now is that. Yeah. So let's just grab that.
Okay.
Nose, mouth, step, sternum now. Up, there, good. Okay.
Similar to what you told me to do on the bench press, let the weight settle.
Yes.
I let the weight settle for maybe a split second more on that one, took a little bit deeper out of the mouth, and then that stabilized everything else.
Yes. That's where I said the breathing may change on when you're gonna do it. Now's the true test, is you gotta do it without me cueing you.
Yep, I can do it.
Which is hard for me to do. I can't keep my mouth shut. Good. Fuck, that was better than when I said something.
That felt good.
Yeah, that was the best one right there. So we'll do one more just to kind of ground
solidify it.
I'm going to tell you something you already know. But if you were to squat and I was to remove the midsection and put a marshmallow in there, how much force would transfer to the bar from the floor?
Shooting a fucking cannon out of a canoe.
Yes. Now, if I took that and put a rock in there, how much force is going to transfer, right? So you had some transferring because you were bruising there, but that's where it stopped. Yeah. Now you're starting to feel, oh shit, you know, and it's coming all the way through. It should feel more exhausting, you know, after the rep, because everything's tight. Don't be surprised when it gets heavier if you start seeing stars and shit like that. It's a big movement. It's a big compound movement.
I can't see stars with my weights.
I've seen people pass out with any weight. It's just, when you're bracing hard and everything's, look at everything as I told you before when we were talking about time under tension. Look at how, no other exercise is this much tension going on at one period of time for 5 or 6 seconds, especially done right. It's a boatload. Good.
It felt straighter.
Yes, it was straighter. The one thing I don't like though is you're pulling into your chest. And I can tell that because the bar moved up and then back down. And you'll see that a lot on Instagram, watching people squat videos, that you'll see that bar go.
Yes.
And that's, to me, it's probably okay, but it's wasted energy, and it's also a big indicator that it's not coming here. Because if you're holding here and you strain and then you breathe out, guess what's going to happen? You're going to fall forward. If you hold here, you can breathe out and still maintain that straight bar path. No other option but success here. So get tight, and you're going to push it all the way to the top. Squeeze, pack the shoulders. Squeeze hard. Good. There it is. Tight. Up.